This is KDPS News. You're in the booth with Benjamin, and I'm here with Michael Salia, an immigrant from Sierra Leone and a criminal justice student here at Grandview. Michael, could you talk a little bit about coming to Grandview and coming to Iowa and what prompted you to start the criminal justice path here in America?
As the only child of my family, when the war came, my father was killed and my mother was also killed during the Civil War. And after the war, I wanted my father's gratuity because I was the next of kin. So when I went to the ministry and I asked for those benefits, they could not offer that to me because they said I have no rights to claim my father's property. So to me, I felt that I've been denied justice. So for that reason, I take upon myself that if I'm fortunate enough to be in a white man's country, I will study criminal justice to speak for those who've been denied those privileges. So that is what majorly motivated me to study criminal justice.
Absolutely. So when you came to America and decided to study criminal justice, was there anything going on with that process of immigration that made it more difficult, or?
Yes, it was definitely difficult for me. First of all, to come in this country without proper document, it was tough. But with the help of good friends and good neighbors, I was able enough to have my paper settled down. But at the initial stage, it was difficult for me to even enroll into college because I had no document. So I have to strive very hard, pass through immigration process. It was a tough route for me, but to cut matters short, I was able to have my papers settled down, and it becomes very easy for me to enroll into any institution or college in this country.
Yeah. So can you talk a little bit more to me about how you got into the country, or how you came to the country and did not have that proper documentation?
Well, as a refugee, sometimes you can be booked up to come to America, and even though I had that kind of privilege enough to apply, like compared to other people who came in here illegally. For me, I had the opportunity to process it. My process was a little bit better because I was not illegal immigrant, but I had the opportunity to go through the process, going from the USCIS, applying the I-30, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. And when I sent those documents to USCIS, and they were able to approve it, and they sent me a 2-year green card in the mail. That's just a temporal green card, which I used for a few years, and automatically I was able to receive another green card, which lasts for 10 years. And subsequently, by 2014, I was qualified enough to apply for a U.S. citizen. Today, I'm gladly happy to tell you that I am a United States citizen.
So it was difficult enough becoming a U.S. citizen without maybe the proper documentation?
Yes, without proper documentation, it will take you forever.
Absolutely. So could you talk a little bit more about maybe if you know any illegal immigrants or, undocumented immigrants, how they might be struggling with that?
Due to experience, I've seen a lot of people who have been in this country without proper documentation. It is difficult for them to really have the benefit that entails being in this country because why? You don't have proper documentation. So some of them, they are in hiding, they don't have that privilege to get out because they don't have the proper documentation. They don't go to school. They don't do anything. They walk on the sidewalk because they can't walk. They are not legally known in this country. So there are a lot of friends that I know that are going through this process because they don't have proper documentation. They have another short route. Some of them do by marrying someone who is a citizen, who is legally in this country. If you have such an opportunity to marry to a woman who is a citizen, I believe you have a little part of having, a proper documentation. So most of my friends do that by marrying someone who is a citizen. Then ultimately they can give them a 2 years green card, just like the way it happens to me, but my own is a little bit different.
Yeah. So, with knowing these people that are undocumented, what do you think about maybe in the political sphere, some of the remarks being made about these people that you know.
Right. Yes, because if you look at the political sphere that is going on right now, you have another candidate who is saying, but first thing in office, he will try to deport everybody to their original country. I think as a country is wrong. Some of these people have been in this country for over 10, 15 years. I think what the United States government should do is to give them the privilege, to give them a part of, not to become a citizen, but to become a legalist, citizens of this country. They can work and pay taxes to the government. I think if a country can do that, I believe America has been doing such a thing. I think it will be better for all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Well, thank you for joining me today, Michael. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
All the time.
You're listening to KDPS News. This is Benjamin.